What's good, YouTube? This is Cam chilling back with another video, and as you can tell, I'm not feeling in the greatest of mood. Okay, I'm just not. And you can probably tell why according to the title of the video. Yeah, this is not the way how I expected this game to go. I mean, I was super hyped for this game. I thought with the rainy weather in Lambeau Field, the Detroit Lions, a huge game on the line for the NFC North, and boy, it was bad. It was very bad. But let's just go ahead and get into it. Let's start with Jordan Love. All right, now before this game, there were speculations as to whether or not that this guy was going to play in this game, and I ain't gonna lie, I was somewhere in between as to whether or not I think Jordan Love should play. I wouldn't mind whether or not Jordan Love or even Malik Willis would even play in this game. Even though this is a Detroit Lions team, they're extremely tough. That's why they're like, what are they, like 6-1, I want to say. We're now 7-1, right? So I wouldn't mind if either one of those guys would come into play. Doesn't matter to me if it's Jordan Love or Malik Willis, but man, I ain't gonna lie. This is the most disappointed that I have seen for this Packers team so far in this season. This is the most disappointed I have felt. This team has shot themselves in the foot in this game, as you clearly showed it. Let's start with Jordan Love. He completed 23 of 39, 273 yards, no touchdowns, and that one, I mean, I gotta say this, I'm sorry, because you guys know how much I love Jordan Love, and I'm very grateful that he's our starting quarterback. But man, that interception was just bad. Just bad, horrendous, god-awful interception. It was bad. It was very bad. I mean, I understand you're trying to make something out of this play during a screen pass to Josh Jacobs, but man, that was a great play by the safety, Kerby Joseph. I remember him. Aaron Rodgers' daddy, right? That was just a bad play by Jordan Love. I mean, if there's nothing there, next time, you just got to throw the ball away next time. There's no reason to force that ball where you just can't see where that defender is right there. I mean, Kerby Joseph was looking at him the entire way and just threw it right at him. I mean, it was just bad. It was very bad. Now, I'm still not overly concerned here with Jordan Love. Some of you might think I'm crazy here to say that because of those number of interceptions that he has thrown so far. But I've seen this story before. Remember last season where he was also throwing a number of interceptions last season? His first year starting, he was struggling through the first half of the season, the first 8 or 9 games during that season. But then after that bye week, that's when he starts to get things clicking just like that. So perhaps it could be the same case for this season for Jordan Love, but we need to see it here first before I'll actually believe it. But anyway, bad interception for Jordan Love. You see at the end of the first half, you see that he was hobbling at the end of the first half. It was very clear that Gordon was not 100%. When I saw him limping as he did in the first half, I said, put Malik Willis in. Put Malik Willis in. But the Packers said no, he was allowed to play throughout the rest of the game, which I guess I didn't mind that, but I still want to see our best players to be at 100% healthy. So I would put in Malik Willis, but this is a big game, a big division game, so I guess I understand it, but I would just put in Malik Willis. That's just my opinion. So Josh Jacobs, he was looking very good with 13 carries and 95 yards, but they decided to take the running game away there for whatever reason. Now I understand that you were down like 17-3, but you still got to try to mix in some running plays along with some passing plays as well. I mean, Josh Jacobs was doing very well there against the Detroit Lions, and you decide to stop running the ball. So that's something I didn't really understood there. But Emmanuel Wilson also getting some runs there. 4 carries for 28 yards. Even Chris Brooks, only 2 carries for 13 yards. So overall, they were running the ball very well against the Detroit Lions. The problem is that we couldn't score any points when we needed to. As a team, they ran the ball 23 times for 138 yards and averaged 6 yards per carry. So that is very good to see there. But again, can't come up with a number of points there in that game, which was one of the problems that we had, especially in the red zone. I think the Packers were like 1-4 in the red zone, if I'm not mistaken. So, and they were a bad red zone team throughout the season. So hopefully after the bye week, they can get that fixed. Hopefully they can be much better here in the red zone in the future, but that was bad. The receivers, it was Jayden Reed who was leading the receiver pack. He ended up with 5 catches, 113 yards. Very good game for him. Christian Watson, 3 carries for 37 yards. Tucker Kraft, 4 catches for 34 yards. But he also had a drop, unfortunately, on that third down. I want to say it was the second quarter, I want to say. But that was a bad drop right there. And I understand that it was raining out there, but it doesn't matter. I mean, what I learned is that if you knew what weather is going to be, you got to be prepared for that. And I mean, it let it right into your hands, so you still got to catch that regardless. You still got to catch that. Romeo Doubs, 4 catches for 28 yards, not great. This offense, there were just a number of drops throughout. And that has been the problem with this Packers offense throughout the season. As explosive as this offense has been, there are still a number of drops that we've seen throughout the season with this receiver group. And that's due to the fact that this is a young football team. They're still the youngest team in the NFL, just like last season, but it's just very, very frustrating. And Dontayvion Wicks, man, there was a chance that he could have been on the stat sheet. There was a couple of catches that he could have had, including that one touchdown. Now, I understand that it was thrown behind him, but still, you got to make that catch there, man. And overall, as much as I like Dontayvion Wicks, especially his rookie season, this season, it has not been the case. It has been a very disappointing season for Dontayvion Wicks. I guess that sophomore slump might have gone into him. But, yeah, so far, he's been disappointing here to me. Now, I have no doubt he's going to improve upon that, but so far, not looking good for Dontayvion Wicks. And in the defense, I mean, they only gave us 17 points, so that's very good at the defense. They were kind of doing their thing for the most part, but I feel like that the Packers were still giving them the game regardless. I mean, Jared Goff, he didn't have to really do that much. I mean, you look at his completion percentage, 18 of 22, 145 yards, 1 touchdown, only 145 yards, but he still had to do enough here to win the game. That was the same thing last game when the Lions played against the Tennessee Titans. Jared Goff didn't have to do much. He didn't even had 100 yards in that game, and that's kind of the same thing here in this game as they were running that ball all over on the Packers. Now, I knew it was going to be tough stopping this running back duo. I think this is the best running back duo in the NFL, in my opinion. I mean, this running back duo is very, very good in Detroit. I'm not going to lie. I mean, David Montgomery, he was 17 carries for 73 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, 11 carries for 65 yards. He probably would have had 100 yards if they utilized him a little more. They ran for 32 carries, 124 yards as a team. So they're still doing their thing. They're in the running game. Look at the wide receivers for the Lions. Amon-Ra St. Brown, nothing too crazy. 7 catches, 56 yards and a touchdown. On that 4th down, the first drive, the opening drive for the Detroit Lions. St. Brown was able to beat Keyshawn Nixon. If there was Jair Alexander, he would have spanked that ball out of Amon St. Brown's hands right there. But since this is Keyshawn Nixon that we're talking about, St. Brown had the advantage of that right there. So, I guess it is what it is. And that's pretty much all here. We look at this receiver group for the Detroit Lions. Again, 145 passing yards from Jared Goff. The wide receivers didn't have to do much because the Packers would kind of shoot themselves in the foot, as I mentioned earlier, giving the Lions a number of opportunities to score a number of points. I mean, it was bad. And also with the penalties too. Now I will say this. The very first penalty that happened in the opening kickoff, that was extremely weird. I don't understand what that was. I saw a Lions player shoved a Packers player there, but for some reason, the referees wanted to call it on the Packers, apparently, on Nixon. That part I did not understand there at all. But outside of that, the rest of the penalties are well deserved, in my opinion. I mean, there were a number of penalties, bad penalties from the Packers, and I feel like that kind of costed them this game. Maybe not all of them, but some of them did, unfortunately. And also the special teams. The new kicker, Brandon McManus, he missed a field goal. Now, I'm not too panicked about that because, again, it's the rain, but again, that's kind of no excuse right there. You still got to come up with that field goal there. But, yeah, this team looked unprepared, man. No disrespect to the Lions. I mean, they played a very, very good game. I mean, they came in well prepared, very, very prepared team. They knew exactly what they had to do, and this was their first game playing outdoors. They knew exactly what they needed to do, playing very, very clean football, mistake-free. They looked like the much better prepared team than the Packers did. The Packers looked like the exact opposite for what the Detroit Lions looked like. Yeah, very disappointed. I would like to see us finally get a win against the Detroit Lions in Lambeau, and by the way, the Lions have been owning the Packers in Lambeau Field, which is something that doesn't normally happen. But hey, gotta give credit to Dan Campbell. He really turned this Lions team around. He has turned this team into a contender now. This is not the old Lions team anymore. This is the new Lions team. And it looks like this team is going to be good for a very, very long time, I hate to say. But hey, it is what it is. So definitely a tough loss right here. But thank God we are in a bye week next week. So definitely some good time for not just Jordan Love, but other players to get back healthy when they play against the Chicago Bears after the bye week. Hopefully Jair Alexander comes back fully healthy. Evan Williams, hopefully he comes back fully healthy, and even Josh Myers. And I want to touch on that for a second there too, because I forgot to mention that. Josh Myers was out for this game, so Elgton Jenkins had to play in the center, but man, that did not go as well. And great performance by the offensive line. I don't think they give up a single sack in this game, but Elgton Jenkins, man, a couple of snags he tried to give to Jordan Love, that was just bad. It was just so bad. And I understand he didn't get a number of snaps, like a lot of snaps at center position. He's more of a guard there lately. But man, that was just bad right there for Elgton Jenkins. And that definitely affected the offense in this game. So hopefully Josh Meyer comes back. Now, I know Josh Meyer has not been the greatest player, but he still has been known to snapping that ball to Jay Love. So hopefully he comes back. Hopefully everybody gets back healthy. So we just got to regroup. We work everything that happened here in the Lions game. Hopefully get more resilience. Hopefully we could get better after the bye week. But I still have confidence in this team moving forward. So we shall see what happens once the Packers get back into action in the next 2 weeks. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the Lions and Packers game. What are your thoughts about this game? You can put your comments down below. I would love to know. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and also please subscribe. And until next time, this is Cam chillin', and I am signing off. Peace.